I'm Ashley Waverley, and I'm here with dear Teagan.
Such an honor. I've never done this before, so I feel excited as to what we'll get into here. Yeah.
Yeah, Substack Live. Hey, friends are already joining. Hello, hello. And we wanted to chat a little bit about October, the end of October, Samhain weekend, Halloween weekend, even though it's still midsummer, mid-August. And so warmly invite you to come join us in person for 3 days in Rochester, New York for an ancestral lineage healing intensive.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So we were just talking about it before we got on. It might seem far away, but I'm even just thinking about how, even just in the astrology, honestly, right now, Venus is like preparing to retrograde and enter her cave. And it feels really, I was sitting with it this morning. It feels really special that we're going to be holding this weekend, like right at the very last days of Venus retrograde as well, obviously on Samhain and everything, but she'll be preparing to like emerge from the underworld as the morning star as we're in ritual together too. So I say that because it's like it's already happening, and the descent will kind of take us right to Samhain weekend, and it feels like such a perfect time to gather in real life together and do some really deep ritual tending with our ancestors, of course, but also just like with the land and with this really special and complicated place that is so-called Rochester, New York. There's so many layers here, and the more I've been feeling into just orienting towards Samhain, which it's like the land is already ready. So yeah, I feel ready to yeah, get people in who are like looking at it. So many of you are like, oh, I'm interested, but yeah, this time we'll really talk about what's going to happen there, which feels important so that you know what you're getting into. And yeah.
Amazing. Do you want to talk a little bit about being from Rochester, born and raised, your hometown? Do you want to chat a little bit about the Perkins Mansion, like
Yes.
the host, the house that's going to host us?
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. So Ashley found this beautiful mansion down in like the heart of Rochester. And so for those of you that aren't familiar, Rochester is pretty far in upstate New York. It's on Seneca land, so very far west, right? The Seneca are the keeper of the western door in the Haudenosaunee Confederacy. And we're right on Lake Ontario as well. So I feel just in terms of the land itself, and of course the stewards of the land, but also the like layout, it's very much a crossroads place, right? The history of Rochester also holds the Underground Railroad. Like there's been so much passage through this place, and I feel that's also how the beloved dead kind of move through Rochester. It's like they're passing through, and we have water, we have the yeah, just a lot of ley lines in that way. But the Perkins Mansion is in the heart of this historic area downtown on East Ave. And so it's a big old mansion. It's currently the home of the Women's Association, which is just so special to me. Like Susan B. Anthony has a lot of history here. And so her spirit's in the house, if you have chills. And I, like, ironically, years ago was doing a lot of healing work in the very, very upstairs floor of that house. So there's this, yeah, amazing history there, and a huge tree in the front that is really holding it down for us. But yeah, I feel that there's this implication of just how many layers of history, right? Like, of course, the Haudenosaunee and Seneca Nation, and then the Underground Railroad history, and also just like the current nature of Rochester still being a crossroads place. And so to be able to gather in a historic building, which is like also very much haunted mansion vibes. Like I've shared with Ashley, I've had some crazy dreams of the ritual in the house and like the spirit. So it's very alive. And I felt a real welcome from the place in the dreams, where they're like, oh, okay, like we visited together not too long ago, and it was like they're ready for us, you know? So we're holding all of these layers. Like, yes, we're doing ancestor focused work and we'll be working with our people. But what I feel most excited about just being from here is like also really getting to engage with the very rich and very complicated history of this land and give it a metabolizing like portal to digest during Samhain, you know, like October 31st, November, like that weekend. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be really
Yeah.
big. Yeah.
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 Yeah, and I was so struck when we went to visit the mansion. It just feels so solid. It's like, "Oh, yeah, we can do whatever it is that we need to do here, and we'll be so
Mhm.
held." It's such a solid foundation, for us to step into the literal container that we'll
Yes.
step into.
So
Yeah,
good. Yeah. And
yeah.
I'm curious if you want to share a little bit about like, yeah, some of the aspects of the work we'll be doing, both the lineage healing work and just like the general ritual container too, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's space for about 20 folks to join us, and it'll be the two of us, and then we have an incredible team of three other supporters, Erica and Shimon and Nicole, that'll be joining us. And we're going to spend 3 full days, all day Friday, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, like 9 to 6, 3 full days in ritual. And so we'll be walking everyone through this kind of straightforward spirit-led process where we have these particular steps that we go through, and it all goes at the pace of you and your ancestors. So everyone is kind of going at their own pace, which is this really potent energetic soup that we all start bubbling in. And you don't need to come to this with any sort of genealogical information or any experience. Beginners are warmly welcome. Also, if you've done a lineage or two with us or with others, you're also warmly welcome. But we really will be teaching like two total beginners. So if that's where you're at, you're like, I'm interested, but I don't really know. Trust it. You're so welcome. You'll be so well held. And we will begin the first day with an assessment of our lineages, right? So we ancestor math is so vast and exponential so quickly. So we kind of help focus it on just 4 particular branches of the family tree. And we start at the beginning, just having this assessment of it's this first movement for people from the ancestors as this nebulous cloud of the dead to more specific energies, more specific folks, and it helps you decide like where your focus will be for the weekend. And so a little more practically what that looks like is we'll kind of teach you it, explain it, and then we'll drop into the guided ritual, which might feel like a guided meditation. We'll be drumming and prompting aloud, and everyone will be in their own journey space
Yeah.
with their people, and yet we'll all be in circle together. And it is such, oof, it's like everything's cranked up to 11. The volume is turned up, particularly that weekend.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so beautiful. Yeah. And then so that'll be day one where we're really like laying the foundation together and just also getting a taste for what it's like to move between, you know, receiving the teachings and the framework and then doing the thing, you know, and I love how we kind of just push off from shore right away because so much of like we can talk about ancestral connection all day long, but actually doing it and leaning into the edges of like where we have to learn to trust our sense of connection with them. You know, we'll all be working it out together in real time. And that's also what I find to be so vital about getting to do it in a group together is like we get to work out where you know there's doubt coming up, there's like I don't know or like wow, this is such a big experience, and hearing from one another's process is such an important part of recovering those life ways into direct connection, you know. And like Ashley said, we're going to have a couple supporters with us who will hold breakout rooms as well. So we'll have these like big group connections, and then we'll break off into smaller groups that will meet consistently throughout the weekend with the same group. So you get to also bring it into that intimacy of like, this is heart level, this is what's happening for me, and be witnessed in a little bit more of a like a personal container there too. So the second day when we gather, which will be October 31st, I just keep thinking about this too. When we come together, that first half of day 2 will be, like kind of committing to the lineage of focus. And after we've done this assessment, we're going to choose to work with just one of the 4 primary lines. On purpose, right? Because like Ashley said, like ancestor math gets so fractal and big, and it often, like for folks like myself that are more sensitive, we can get flooded by all the peanut gallery coming in at once. So it's also like choosing to really deepen with one lineage to learn that story, that current of transmission, and really deeply understand the themes and the beauty that's there. So and of course some of the more challenging aspects of that line too, to really give it that attention and care. So the first half of day 2 will be that deepening, where we actually seek out a wise and well one on the lineage of focus, and ask for collaboration. Like we're completing the circuit and saying like, okay, are you ready and willing to like help me tend the beloveds here? And it's one of my favorite moments, because it's like a homecoming, it's like often there's like the sense that they've been with us all along, but we just really needed to look. And I find it to be so celebratory. So how perfect to be doing that on like Halloween morning. It's like great. The doors will be open, I really feel. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I love so much about this work, and how it's so different from other types of maybe therapeutic modalities or other healing modalities, where with ancestral lineage healing, we connect with the guide, we connect with an actual ancestor, and they're the guides for the rest of the process. Sure, we have this outline or this framework, but what's really different is that the person participating, like Ashley, doesn't need to know what went wrong or why it went wrong or how to fix it. It's not happening through personal effort. And so often we hear, it's kind of like a meme at this point of like, oh, I'm the one to heal my lineage. Yeah. Which is such a sacred recognition of like, oh yeah, I'm the one kind of called forward to come into relationship with my ancestors and witness the lineage be restored in collaboration with the ancestors. Yeah, so it's just that really beautiful, the shift into collaboration. It's not more individual hard effort.
That part, yes. Yeah.
And yeah, we also spend some time, so we'll be discussing, sharing, being witnessed, a lot of time actually doing the ritual. And to also continue to just move and alchemize the energy, we'll be doing a lot of singing. And throughout the whole weekend, we're also going to be creating together collaboratively this really big and beautiful offering, the central offering that will, we'll have everyone bring some grains or dried flowers or dried plants or pigments, and we'll create this really beautiful offering that we're going to feed the spirits with throughout the weekend. So there's lots of layers happening at one time to hold and to move all of this energy that is getting stirred up and is just already here, right? We all already feel the effects of this every day, all day. And so here's a moment to really step in and begin to work with it in a really dedicated way. And yeah, on day 3, once we have a little bit deeper understanding of the lineage we've been working with, some of the challenges of some of the gifts, sometimes it's enough for there to already be some ancestralization that occurs. Like just spending these couple of days deep in ritual can often make huge moves in the lineage. And then we also talk a little bit about, okay, what happens when we leave? Okay, it's November 2nd, it's December, it's January, then what? We talk a little bit about continuing the relationship, because it's not just the 1, 2, 3 days. Okay, check, I did my ancestor work.
Yeah.
It's this lifelong relationship. And often the beginning of this relationship, there's some tending that we'll do together that needs to be done. And then there's the deepening and the continuation. And often in this personal healing, we start to hit all of these cultural layers, all of these cultural fractures along our lineages and how they intersect with themselves and with others in the room. And so there's also this space and this alchemy for some of that to get brought to the surface and witnessed, and work a little bit with forgiveness and with grief. There's so many. I just feel so just feeling the potency of what's possible when we gather in this way together. Yeah.
So beautiful. Yeah, and I think that's something too, like just thinking about how there's so many kind of parallel things that will be happening at once while we're together. And it's like there's the understanding of how to do the thing, right? And really kind of moving into this this mapping or scaffolding of lineage repair work and moving towards connection. But then, like you're saying, and I think that this is so important, considering that we will be above all else holding a big ritual container together. And that the reminder that I always have to repeat to myself is like, whatever emerges from the moment we open the space to the moment we close, including on your lunch breaks, including when you go to bed on, the nights between, it really is all part of the ritual. And so the layers of like tending with our own people, tending with one another's people, and then all of us tending with the land, which for me is like the gift of getting to do this in person, is where we culminate at that point at the end of the weekend, where all of the merits of the practice, all of the like restoration of vitality and really the felt sense and experience of having our people at our back and having an intactness with the wellness actually resources us to turn towards one another and turn towards wherever we are, including this space, to say like, okay, how can we create the conditions for something to just begin to move here, right? And like that offering that you spoke about that we'll be building throughout the weekend always feels like such a metaphor to me of like that subliminal level of just slowly building this offering to the spirits over the course of the weekend. That's like, yeah, we're doing all these things and we're having our big experiences. And meanwhile, there's this other thing happening that's part of, if not like the anchor of the larger process, that all goes back into the land and back into the spirits in this like act of gratitude. And we got to drop in last week with the supporters and just start to feel into this together, because it's going to be here before we know it. And the biggest thing that I was surprised by, but it makes good sense, the biggest thing that came up for me was like, remember to feed the spirits, like not just go through the motions of even my own, like, we've built a few of these offerings before in the past. It's like, no, really feed them. Like as you're doing this tending, remember that it all goes back into that sense of vitality. And that's actually what carries with us as we go out into our own processes, right? Like the ritual container starts the engine and gets something in motion for all of us. And then we get to carry the merits of that into our own life. And I really feel that the initiation of what happens there is what gets carried out into our own paths and our homes and the land that we go back to. It like all circles out in that way. So I feel so excited. Like someone asked me the other day if they're coming from, I think, Washington State, and they were like, would you recommend like the online ancestor circle or the in-person? I'm like, I would recommend the in-person if you're
Yes.
willing, because it will be like, it will be so much more powerful with that ritual container to create the connection and begin that work. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's such a gift to gather in person. It's such a gift to gather in circle together and do this work. Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited. So if this has felt at all intriguing or interesting, which I'm sure it has, we still have spots left. We'd really love for you to join us. Be in touch with us with any questions. It's a non-residential intensive, so you're able to find your own housing. We have lots of links there's tons of options in Rochester. If you have questions about travel or lodging, be in touch. We have payment plans still available. We also have 3 tiers of pricing. So
yeah. And for those of you that might be coming from out of town, it's also just good to know that Rochester is very walkable. So,
Yes.
there is the reality, if you are flying in or coming from afar, that you, in my opinion, you don't even need to worry about renting a car, because you can stay like in the East Ave area and just walk to the venue. All of the restaurants are in walking distance. It's a very like sweet little area that we'll be in. So I find it's actually kind of easy to do the non-residential thing in Rochester. So, and I'm obviously happy to talk with folks if you feel curious about the area and all of that. So yeah, hopeful that we'll have friends from Rochester and from outside. That'll be fun. Yeah. Beautiful.
Anything else that we feel is important to mention?
I think the last thing that I just want to presence, because I've gotten a few questions about this, of folks feeling like, oh my gosh, Samhain weekend, it's going to be intense, and like, yes, it will be big energy, but I also just want to emphasize, because I would want to hear this as a sensitive person, that we will also have like quite a bit of downtime. We're not going to just be like, the days will be full, but there will be like long lunch breaks, and the breakout groups, those smaller groups, they tend to be very like restorative for the nervous system, because we get to ground. So just to say, for those of you that might have an edge around like entering into a big group space, especially with people that you don't know, our team of facilitators, I find all of us to be very like energetically attuned, and like soft in that way. So we're not going to push you into territory that doesn't feel comfortable for your system. And that's the beauty of, the group, is like we all get to move at our own pace, and we all get to also like be in that together. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's really, like Ashley was saying, it's come as you are. If you know nothing about your people, that's fine. Like there's no way you need to be entering into this, other than just like knowing that we will share the map over the course of the weekend, and you'll find your way. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yes. Join us, please. It'll be great.
It's gonna be powerful, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be sweet.
It will.
It's gonna be
singing and drumming and maybe some dancing. It'll be
I know, a little bit of movement for sure. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, my dear.
Yes, so good to see you.
Yes. All right. Take care, friends.
More soon, everyone. Bye.